All right, so let's continue. So again, so with this combination of two questions, no refrain using that. No, um, when it comes to your survey questionnaire. Next question: do you consider a quad-core processor to be an important feature of a cell phone? Okay, this kind of question also is a big no. No, why? Because there is here, what do you call this? Okay, allow me to annotate. Okay, because there is a jargon here which is quad-core processor. Okay, so in your survey questionnaire, as quad-core processor, not all the people know the terminology quad-core processor. Okay, especially for the elderly. Okay, so ano yung dapat natin gawin dyan sa using jargons? It contains jargons, okay? Avoid using jargons, no? Kung sinabing jargons, these are terminologies used in a certain field. Okay, so dito yung quad-core processor. So pwede naman gawin ganito na lang. So is the speed of response of the cell phone important to you? Okay? So yes or no. So ganun na lang siya. Imbis na quad-core processor, ang ipalit mo is the speed of response of the cell phone. Okay? So avoid using jargons. Okay, when it comes to your survey questionnaire. Next. So this is very long question. Okay, so this is too long. Pang-exam na to. Nagbigay ka pa ng isang situation. Okay, hindi ginagawa yun into survey questionnaire. Okay, it must be short, concise, and clear. Okay, so yung ating questionnaire. Pwede naman ganito na lang. Do you find the ringing sounds of a phone distracting while in class? Okay, so pwede yun na lang. Do you find ringing sounds of a phone distracting while in class? Okay, so that is a good survey questionnaire. Another one. Agree or disagree? The school should not discontinue its ban of cellular phones in class. Okay, what's wrong in this survey questionnaire? Gumamit kasi tayo ng double negatives. Okay, so double negatives, meron na tayong word na not dito, gumamit pa tayo ng discontinue. Okay, so refrain using double negatives when it comes to questions. Okay, so paano natin siya i-revise into a good question? So ganito, do you agree that the school should continue banning phones in class? Okay, so ganun siya. Do you agree that the school should continue banning phones in class? Okay, so those are some of the reminders no, na dapat nyo isaalang-alang when it comes to creating or designing your survey questionnaire. Avoid jargons, avoid double negatives. Okay, so it must not be too lengthy. It doesn't have a combination of two questions. Okay, it must be clear. Okay, so dapat walang unclear and vague questions. So that is the instrument. So paano naman isusulat no, yung part na the instrument pagdating sa chapter 3 ninyo? Ganito, these are the questions that might be helpful in writing your the instrument or the part the instrument in your chapter 3. Okay, narratively lahat yan ha, yun nandun sa chapter 3. So sa the instrument part, ito yung questions na makakatulong. What instruments will you use to gather data to answer your research questions? Siyempre, survey questionnaire na yon. Okay, so kung nasagot na yon, followed by why did you choose these instruments? Okay, so bakit? Third question, what are the major parts of your instruments? And lastly, what rating scale will you use? Okay? So kung Likert scale ba yan, okay? Or kung anything or percentage ba ang gagamitin. Okay? So ganito siya sinusulat. Example. Not an example. Yung instrument pala dito, yung tawag dito, yung sa chapter 3, okay? So it's all about your SOP. Okay, so dito sa example, about to sa social media usage tsaka sa attention span. Okay, so ganun siya. Yun yung kukunin mo dun sa survey questionnaire ha, dapat yun yung nilalaman. Kung ano yung nasa SOP mo. Okay, so dito social media usage tsaka attention span. Okay, so ito yung sample ng instrument na or sample in writing this section. So the study shall make use of two research instruments to provide data on the variables being studied. First, a validated questionnaire will be used to determine the respondents' level of social media usage. Okay, yung isa naman is just a mobile application. Okay, to measure the respondents' attention span. Okay, so anong ginamit nila? Ginamit nila social media used questionnaire. Okay, so they have done it, okay, through social media. Okay, so because it is impossible for us to conduct a survey physically, syempre medyo bawal talaga. Okay, so kailangan online na lang i-disseminate yung ating mga questionnaires, yung survey questionnaires, no, upon distributing it, no. Okay? So with that, tawag dito, with your survey questionnaire, dapat there will be an attachment of the cover letter. So ano nilalaman ng cover letter? So ang nilalaman ng cover letter must be the objectives and the purpose of the survey questionnaire. Siyempre, baka akalain nung respondents, scam yun. Baka mamaya scam yun, di ba? So there must be an objective. And for what? Okay, yung questions na yun. Okay, para, tawag dito, hindi sila mataka. So the intervention, so wag natin the intervention. So pang ano to, pang experimental. So after the research design, after the sample is then followed by the instrument, then ngayon data collection procedure. So sa data collection procedure from the word itself, these are the procedures no upon collecting your data. So describe whose permission will be sought and what arrangements need to be made to administer instruments. Okay, so in a data collection procedure, okay, so in this time, let's say for example, you're going uh, tawag dito, to sought a permission, okay, for a certain school. Let's say for example, sa ibang school kayo magkakandak ng survey. Okay, syempre kailangan nyo pa rin ng permission. Okay, although it will be done online. Okay, syempre mas maganda pa rin the merong permission. Okay, doon sa dean man yan, sa principal man yan. Okay, so para tawag dito, mas credible. Okay, so after all permissions have been granted, so you may now start distributing your survey questionnaires. So sa data collection procedure, from the permission, doon pala sa pagka-permission, okay, nakasulat na yan narratively ha, narratively yon. Okay, so once na na-approve na yung permission, so paano nyo naman i-distribute yung survey questionnaire? Nakalagay din yun sa data collection procedure. So after ng distribution, syempre there must be retrieval. Okay, paano nila i-retrieve? Okay, or paano nila isasauli yung questionnaire? The same day ba? Okay, or the other day? Okay, or you're just going to wait for a few minutes and then dapat isauli na nila yung questionnaire. Okay, so nakalagay yun doon. So ito yung example. Okay, so ito yung example. The researcher shall seek the permission of the authors of the instruments that will be adapted in their study. Ito yung example ng data collection procedure ha. The researchers will secure permission of the university to obtain a list of senior high school students from from which the samples will be selected. Third, the questionnaires shall be distributed to selected samples during one of their classes. Okay, so with the permission from the facilitating professor. Lastly, questionnaires shall be retrieved the same day as they were given to ensure a higher return percentage of questionnaire. Okay, that is an example of data collection procedure. And lastly is a plan for data analysis. Kaya dito, you are going to plan for data analysis. No, ano ba yung gagamitin ninyong statistical tool? Okay, in planning your data analysis. Siyempre, after the survey questionnaire on your chapter 4, no, ipapaliwanag nyo na ngayon, no, yung data analysis ninyo. So, chapter 4 will be the interpretation of data. Okay? So, now, sa chapter 3 pa lang, dapat meron na kayong plano. What are those statistical tools no, that you are going to use? Okay, so in your data analysis. Okay, so these are some of the examples of descriptive statistics. Okay, so ito lang naman halos yung gagamitin nyo kasi descriptive research lang naman yan. Okay, so for central tendency, mean, median, mode, variability, variance, no, ang ating standard dev, and then range, then z-score, then percentile ranks. Commonly, pagdating sa percentile ranks, okay, dito yung ating mga personal questions, di ba? Yung mga sex, okay, yung tawag dito kung boy or girl ba siya, age, okay, percentage lang yun nandun. Ilan yung babae, ilan yung lalaki, ilan yung may edad na ganito, okay, or range pagdating sa edad, po pwede din. Pagdating naman sa mga Likert scale na gagamitin natin, yung mga 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, okay, so yung may mga yes or no. So, dito percentage lang yung sa mga Likert scale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pwedeng gamitin si mean. Okay, so you have undergone your statistics class naman, di ba? Okay, so you should know that. Okay, so those are the basics of the descriptive statistics. So ito na yung example ng plan for data analysis. Okay? So yung plan for data analysis dapat nakakonekta doon sa inyong SOP or Statement of the Problem. If you have 3 questions in your SOP, dapat may 3 ka din dito. Kasi 3 rin yung gagamitin mong tools. Okay? Tigi-tigisa sila. Kunwari sa number 1 SOP mo, ito yung gamit na percentage. Bakit? Kasi it just present and analyze data regarding the demographic profile of the respondents. Demographic profile lang yung mga pangalan, span ay mga sex and age. So ganun siya. So sa number 2 niya, weighted mean ang ginamit niya. And the third one, Pearson ang ginamit niya kasi correlation yung study niya. Okay? So kayo naman is descriptive lang halos. Okay? So again, nakabata itong data analysis dun sa SOP ha. So every SOP, yun na nandun, kung 3 yun, dapat meron kayong gagamitin na statistical tools no, to measure all of those. Especially with this quantitative research design. Okay, so that is planned for data analysis. And that will cover the entirety of chapter 3. Okay, that's the entirety of chapter 3. We have the research design, the sample, the instruments. Okay, so what else? Um, the plan for data analysis. That's the last, no? Kalimutan ko yung isa. That is data collection procedure rather. Okay, again, that the entirety of chapter 3, research design, the instrument, the sample, the instrument, data collection procedure, and then plan for data analysis. Okay, so that is the entire chapter 3. So we're done with chapter 3. So, after ng chapter 1 and 2 na ginagawa ninyo, pakisunod na agad si chapter 3. Okay, so hindi nyo na muna sa akin papacheck yan, sa dulo na yan. Okay? So again, habang ginagawa 1 and 2, dapat tapusin na rin si chapter 3. Sunod-sunod lang gawin. Okay? So again, that would be all for chapter 3. Okay, so I hope that you have learned something new for today. So it's already time, so medyo mag-OT na nga tayo. Okay, so is that clear? Kindly hit the thumbs up button nga kung clear yung chapter 3 natin. Okay, so very good. So it seems that you have learned how to create your chapter 3. So again, pakigawa na habang ginagawa sa chapter 1 and 2, sunod-sunod na. Okay, pakigawa na rin si chapter 3. Okay, so that would be all for today. Goodbye and God bless everyone. So stay safe. Okay, so you can have your break now. Okay, so bye-bye.
Bye, sir.